after all this time? Always.
Did you know that the man who was Voldemort's most trusted advisor, a loyal Death Eater, and bluntly a sinister and mean teacher, turned out to be one of the greatest heroes of the wizarding world? Yes, we're talking about none other than Severus Snape. Today in Fantasy Archive, we explore the life of Severus Snape, one of the most enigmatic and fascinating characters in the series. You may think you know everything about him, but trust us when we say that there is so much more to this complex character than meets the eye. From his troubled childhood to his redemption as a hero, by the end of this video, you will have a newfound appreciation for Snape, and you'll understand why he ended up being one of the most beloved characters in the series. So buckle up and let's get to know Snape. Severus Snape had a difficult childhood, which shaped his personality and definitely influenced his choices later in life. He grew up in a loveless home with an abusive father and a mother who was a witch but was too afraid to use her magic. He was neglected by his parents, and it would show in his unfitted and dirty clothes. This made Snape feel isolated and lonely, and he found solace in books and magic. He yearned to turn 11 in order to go to Hogwarts and leave his past behind. Meanwhile, he learned all he could about magic. He also befriended Lily Evans, Harry's mother, who was also the same age as him. He had seen her around and discovered she also had magical skills. When they finally met, they developed a close bond. Despite his troubled childhood, Snape made it to Hogwarts. He was sorted into the Slytherin house, while Lily got into Gryffindor. Despite being a freshman, he knew more spells than most students in the 7th year and quickly became the protege of Professor Slughorn. He became a gifted young wizard who excelled in potions and the dark arts. However, Snape was also a victim of bullying, which further deepened his sense of loneliness and insecurity. He had a rough first encounter with James Potter in Sirius Black on which was the best house, and that set the tone for their relationship moving forward. So far, he still remained friends with Lily Evans, a Gryffindor. She defended him from the Marauders, but ultimately the friendship ended when, after being bullied by James, he called Lily a mudblood. She never forgave him. Lily knew he admired Voldemort and was friends with housemates who also disliked mudbloods, and who were mostly Death Eaters in the making. Snape's fascination with the dark arts also made him an easy target for Voldemort, who recruited him as a Death Eater after he graduated from Hogwarts. Lily's marriage to James Potter only deepened the rift between them, but Snape never stopped loving her. Snape's time as a Death Eater was a dark period in his life. Voldemort asked him to get a job at Hogwarts in order to spy on Dumbledore. Snape went to Hogsmeade for an interview when he learned Sybil Trelawney was interviewing as well. He eavesdropped and heard her share a prophecy with Dumbledore around Lord Voldemort's fall. Unfortunately, he was discovered by Aberforth, Dumbledore's brother, and got kicked out. He had only heard half of the prophecy. A child born in late July and a son of a couple that had confronted Voldemort 3 times would have the power to defeat him. He went straight to Voldemort and shared this with him. Given the description, the child was either Harry Potter or Neville Longbottom. Voldemort decided it was the first and was determined to kill him. Snape tried to persuade him to go Neville's way, but Voldemort was set on Harry. Snape instantly feared for Lily's life. He begged Voldemort to spare Lily, and Voldemort agreed. Snape still wouldn't trust Voldemort and went to Dumbledore and begged him for protection. Dumbledore agreed under the condition that Snape become a double agent, working for Dumbledore and spying on Voldemort for years. He would be both a Death Eater and part of the Order of the Phoenix. This was an incredibly dangerous position to be in, but Snape's love for Lily Potter motivated him to continue. He remained loyal to Dumbledore. Sadly, Peter Pettigrew told Voldemort the Potter's location. Voldemort killed James. He would have spared Lily, but she wouldn't get out of the way, so he killed her too. This would forever change the course of Snape's life. The tragic event left Snape wrecked with guilt and consumed by his love for Lily. It drove him to dedicate his life to protecting her son, Harry, even if it meant putting himself in grave danger. Dumbledore asked that he protect Harry when he was older and Voldemort was back. Snape promised and agreed. Snape was instrumental in saving the lives of Harry, Ron, and Hermione on multiple occasions, and his contributions to the Order of the Phoenix were invaluable. Dumbledore defended Snape and vouched on his behalf to the Ministry of Magic. He gave Snape a teaching position at Hogwarts as Potion Master and Head of House for Slytherin following Slughorn's retirement. Though Snape requested to teach defense against the dark arts, Dumbledore declined. He knew Voldemort had jinxed the position, though many thought he wanted to prevent Severus from falling into old habits. When Voldemort returned, he had to be very careful. Many Death Eaters, including Bellatrix Lestrange, were very suspicious of him and would mention his every move to the Dark Lord. He considered every decision and relationship carefully. He treated Harry Potter with the utmost coldness and never missed an opportunity to get in his way. Any deviation from this would have raised suspicion in Voldemort's eyes. Not that it was hard for him. He could never truly see Harry for who he was. He only saw James whenever he looked at him. Snape's ultimate redemption as a hero is one of the most heart-wrenching and emotional moments in the series. After Voldemort's return, Dumbledore tasked Snape with a seemingly impossible mission: to kill him in order to prevent Draco Malfoy from becoming a murderer. Snape was devastated by his task, but ultimately agreed to do it, as it was the only way to protect the students at Hogwarts and honor Lily's memory. But there was more to Snape's mission than met the eye. In his final moments, Dumbledore revealed to Snape that Harry was the last Horcrux, and that he needed to die in order to destroy Voldemort. Dumbledore had planned Snape's role in Harry's ultimate victory all along, and Snape's sacrifice was essential to the success of the plan. Snape's love for Lily Potter was one of the most important aspects of his character, and it drove many of his actions throughout the series. Snape's love for Lily Potter was not only a driving force in his life, but also the reason for his ultimate redemption. He had always loved Lily, and in the end, he sacrificed everything to protect her son and ensure that her memory would live on. Some lesser-known facts about Snape. Snape was extremely skilled Occlumens and Legilimens, which made him an excellent spy and allowed him to keep his true loyalties hidden. Snape had a talent for creating original spells, including Sectum Sempra, which he created as a student at Hogwarts. Some of his spells even became popular and copied during his time at Hogwarts. Snape was an accomplished duelist and was able to hold his own against some of the most skilled wizards in the series. Snape's portrait was hung in the headmaster's office after his death, indicating that he was ultimately recognized as a hero by the wizarding community. Snape's friendship with Lily precedes Hogwarts. His Patronus was a doe, which was also the same as Lily Potter's. This further shows Snape's love for Lily and how much she meant to him. Snape was one of the youngest professors ever appointed at Hogwarts. He became a professor at the age of only 21, shortly after he graduated from Hogwarts himself. Snape was a member of the Slug Club when he was a student at Hogwarts, indicating that he was highly regarded by his professor Horace Slughorn. Snape's wand was made of a rare wandwood called yew, which is associated with powerful magic and death. Snape's potions expertise was unparalleled, and he was able to create complex potions such as Wolfsbane Potion, the potion that allowed Professor Lupin to not turn into a werewolf during a full moon. He reduced the effects of the dark magic curse that Dumbledore got on his hand after wearing the Marvolo Gaunt's ring, which was one of Voldemort's Horcruxes. Since Dumbledore was already going to die from the effect of the ring, Snape killing him was just more of making his death more strategic, since it would protect Draco from becoming a murderer and reaffirming Snape's loyalty in the eyes of Voldemort. He saved Harry multiple times. Severus Snape's impact on the wizarding world extends beyond his time in the Harry Potter series. His character continues to inspire and fascinate fans even years after the last book was published. Snape's story has been adapted into plays, movies, and even a video game, keeping his legacy alive. His character raises questions about the nature of redemption and forgiveness. He was a complex and flawed individual who made mistakes but ultimately did everything he could to atone for them. Snape's redemption as a hero shows that even the most unlikable individuals can become heroes with the right motivation and the right choices.